Many people only know July 4th for being the American Independence Day, but historically, there have been countless events that have also happened on July 4th that are rarely discussed. Additionally, other countries also have holidays and observances on July 4th, including Liberation Day in the Northern Mariana Islands, Liberation Day in Rwanda, and the Republic Day in the Philippines. In today's video, I will be explaining historical events that happened on July 4th, besides the United States Independence Day. In 362 BC, the Battle of Mantinea took place near the ancient Greek city of Mantinea, between Thebes and Sparta. The Thebans, led by General Epaminondas, were allied to the Boeotian League, Tegea, Arcadia, Argos, Thessaly, Messene, Euboea, Sicyon, and more. The Spartans, led by King Agesilaus II, were allied to Athens, Elis, Mantinea, the Achaean League, and more. The Thebans and their allies had 25,000 to 30,000 men, while the Spartans and their allies had 20,000 hoplites, which were heavy infantry, and 2,000 cavalry. In the end, it was a Theban tactical victory, but Epaminondas was killed in action. This battle weakened Thebes' leadership and Sparta's army, which paved the way for the Macedonian conquest. In 1054, Chinese, Arab, and possibly Amerindian astronomers observed a supernova called SN 1054. Supernovas are stars that suddenly increase greatly in brightness because of a catastrophic explosion that ejects most of its mass. SN 1054 became known as the Crab supernova, and its remnant became known as a Crab nebula. In 1187, during the wars of the Crusader states, the Battle of Hattin took place in Galilee between the Kingdom of Jerusalem and its allies against the Ayyubid Sultanate led by Saladin. By the end of the battle, Ayyubid forces captured or killed most of the Crusader forces, which eventually allowed Muslim forces to recapture Jerusalem and most other cities held by the Crusaders. This led to the Third Crusade, which started 2 years after. In 1584, Philip Amadis and Arthur Barlow arrived at Roanoke Island, which is located in modern-day Dare County, North Carolina. 1 year later, the Roanoke colony was established by Sir Walter Raleigh, and Rolfe Lane became its first governor. Roanoke's inhabitants were evacuated in 1586, and the colony was reestablished in 1587, with John White becoming the new governor. In 1590, John White returned to Roanoke, only to find it abandoned. The only major clue to where the inhabitants could have gone was the word Croatoan carved into a post. The disappearance of Roanoke's inhabitants is still considered a mystery today. In 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the United States creation, the second President of the United States, John Adams, and the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, died on the same day. In 1831, on the 55th anniversary of the United States creation, the fifth President of the United States, James Monroe, died. In 1886, the Canadian Pacific Railway's first scheduled train from Montreal arrived in Port Moody in British Columbia after 6 days of travel. The Canadian Pacific Railway was created in 1881 and currently has over 20,100 kilometers of rail. Its headquarters is located in Calgary, Alberta. The railway system extends from the Pacific coast of Canada to the Atlantic coast. Additionally, there are also Canadian Pacific Railway lines in the United States, and it goes as far south as Missouri. In 1902, the Philippine-American War officially ended. The Philippine-American War started in 1899 and was caused by the United States' desire to annex the Philippines, which angered many Filipino nationalists who sought independence from both Spain and the United States. Important Filipinos who played a major role during this war includes Emilio Aguinaldo, who was the first president of the Philippines, Apolinario Mabini, and Pedro Paterno, who were Aguinaldo's prime ministers. In 1901, President Aguinaldo was captured, and in 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt proclaimed that the war had ended. In 1911, the Eastern North America heatwave occurred, killing at least 380 people in 11 days and breaking temperature records in several cities. In Nashua, New Hampshire, the temperature reached 106 degrees Fahrenheit. In New York City, 158 people and 600 horses died. Besides this, Toronto, Canada experienced temperatures as high as 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which was the highest temperature ever recorded in the city until 1936. By July 15th, the heat wave had ended with a severe thunderstorm. In 1954, food rationing in Great Britain ended with the lifting of restrictions on the sale and purchase of meat, which was 14 years after it began in World War II. Rationing was implemented by the British government throughout the 20th century during times of war and immediately after a war. The main purpose was to ensure that every citizen got a fair share of food to prevent food shortages because of the lack of imports due to German U-boats. 1954 was when food rationing finally ended in Great Britain. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video to give me feedback. Thank you for watching.